All right, here we go. Next horse. Trying out some new technologies today. See how this camera tracker works. Let's see if I can get it to find me. I feel like I gotta call it like a dog. Here, boy. Here I am. There it goes. It finds me. Okay. Let me go see if it'll track me. Let's see. Get over here next to Peanut. Okay, Justin, Whispering Hope Ranch. In my quest to make these horses better than they were, Peanut, right here. He's next on my list for getting some things done. So I'm going to be showing you what to do about him. His habits are the usual ones: stop, steer, turning. It's a little dicey on. Currently, we're using him in the program. I'm going to go ahead and check my cinch while I'm chatting with you. And he's pretty good. I wouldn't say I could put a 7-year-old on him, but I could certainly put a 8-year-old, maybe a 9-year-old on him pretty easily. Okay. So he's got some, when we first got him, he had some serious pushy habits where like to be in your space, crowd you, that kind of thing. So we're gonna hop on him and see how it goes. I've got no spurs on today. I've got them on standby though. They are right over, handy in case I gotta hop off and grab them. So we're just gonna be running Peanut here through the usual drill, and then we'll see how it goes. Per the usual, I'm just gonna start him off with a little bit of some walking. Let's see how he goes. Now, it is kind of abnormal for the horses to be in here by themselves, but that does give me kind of a good blank slate to work with, because then there's no distractions. Kind of you're getting what you get. Like, the horse is the horse. There's nothing to blame it on except it's just him. So in a lot of ways, it does kind of help. Kind of helps to keep things moving. So it kind of helps your progress, I should say, because you're not dealing with any other variables except for whatever the horse is going to give. And then here he goes. He started trotting a little bit. So I'm going to do my usual thing, which if he starts trotting, then I'm going to say, okay, fine, let's trot. But then I'm going to make him stay in the trot. And this is where we might find the limitations of this camera pretty quick. We'll find out. I spent some time dealing with the settings on this thing this morning to see if I could get it to track faster, because I knew I'd be trotting and cantering a little bit. Okay, one of the other Peanut's big bad habits is sometimes he locks up and just refuses to walk forward, which is a bad deal. So there's nothing like complex about this. One of our old patriarch, old guard horse people that helped us out when we were first starting always used to say there's no replacement for seat time. And so you really do just have to get in that saddle, spend the time with the horse. Woo, buddy. Back up. Good boy. Back up some more. Good boy. Again, this is Peanut. If I took a wild guess on his age, we have 21 horses here at the ranch, so it's tough to remember all those ages. But if I took a wild guess, and we do have his paperwork and his file, I just have to look it up. But he's unregistered, so there's that going on too. So you just kind of have to take the last owner's word for it. But if I took a guess, I'd say maybe 10, 12-ish. I don't know, give or take a year. I always tell people I can barely keep my kids' ages straight, let alone 21 horses. So, don't judge me too harshly for that one. I'm just kind of picking some letters to zigzag back and forth. I'm kind of task oriented. I like to have a job to do, like a goal I'm trying to accomplish. It's not like this is Peanut's first time in the arena. I would say he's probably further along than Tucker, who was my yesterday horse. If you missed out on that, you can find that video posted up on YouTube and you can check it out. And then I've got, 4 or 5 more horses that are going to be on a rotation. It's not like you can ride them one time and then it's all over with in there. From that moment forward, just perfect little angels. So I'm just zigzagging back and forth between these letters. I'm going from one letter to another, and I'm walking my way down toward the camera here. We're going to walk our way back. He's using a Tom Thumb bit, which is basically a snaffle bit with a little bit more leverage for stopping power. It's a very mild bit still, but it's just a little tiny bit more leverage than a snaffle bit. This is my scary stick right here, which again is just a plastic bag on the end of a riding crop, basically. And our goal isn't to scare the horses half to death. Our goal is to help them learn how to have respect. And it's just a training tool. Works really nice. Working the cones here a little bit. Winter time. Well, it's the end of winter time, so our horses, I'm happy to report, are overweight, which means I win. Winter, you lose. Ooh. Back up. Back. All right. Good boy, Peanut. Peanut also has this weird habit where he will, if he's itchy, he'll lay down while tied to the wall. Like when we're staging, we've got these rings that are throughout the whole arena, and he'll lay down while tied, while fully saddled, and just kind of lay down and chill out, take himself a little snooze. So he's got quite the personality. He's kind of a goofball. He also likes to try to step on your foot. It's not his full weight, but he's just kind of like saying, hey, I'm here, when you're trying to handle him and get him tacked up. So pick up a little canter here, see how that goes. Ooh, back up. Again, every time we stop, we're trying to help him think backwards. Oh, and then he having a harder time coming down off the canter than Tucker did. So we're going to keep backing up until we can be still, because backing up is something he knows how to do. See, if you notice, my reins are droopy. And my legs, I'm going to start relaxing my legs more, which he might think is go. He did, so we're going to back up and take those steps back a little bit. Okay, I'm going to relax everything. Because remember, my goal is to try to get these horses kid safe. I want, if a kid gets on them and has relaxed legs that, calves that brush up against the horse a little bit, I don't want that horse to be like, yeehaw, it's time to go. All right. We're going to practice some of my transitions of walk, trot, canter. Easy boy. Easy. Good boy. I'd say the motion tracker's doing all right. Looks like it's keeping up. I got the TV on now so I can peek at it. That's when you see me looking to your right, my left, I'm looking at the TV just to see if the camera's keeping up. I think I'm out of frame a couple times, but, growing process. practice some turns here. I want him to get soft in the mouth, so we're gonna try to tighten this up. If he slows down, that's okay. What's more important is that he's turning and bending and getting some flexibility. See, he just fought me there and gotta drive him through it. Again, I apologize if my kissing noise is really loud. Gonna go the other way because I'm starting to get dizzy. I've always wondered how much it takes for a horse to get dizzy, or if they get dizzy. Whoa, and we're gonna back up. Remember, we want our horses to think backwards when we stop. Good boy. Solid couple second stop is all I'm looking for. He's doing really well. I'm kind of glad I didn't put spurs on. I almost did because that was one of his things he struggled with, was locking up. I'm kind of glad I didn't. Now on the way in from getting him from the pasture, he did lock up and decided not to walk. And so that turned into a quick 5-minute round pen session is what we would call it. And that's without the scary stick because I didn't have it with me at the time. I just start making him move out, and I just used the end of my lead line to motivate him to move. And by motivate him, I mean I swatted him with the lead line. Anyway, took 5 minutes of that, and then we were walking golden. We were good to go. Peanut understood his marching orders and was like, okay, I am not gonna mess with that. And that's the big challenge we have with working with kids. I can make a horse do a lot of things, but once I give that horse back to the kid or even an inexperienced adult, if they don't know exactly how to make that horse, quotation mark, behave, then the horse is gonna get away with everything. That's why they need these tune-up rides. Threw me a little half buck there. I don't know if you saw that. Right as I spoke too soon about the spurs. He's starting to look like he might need them. Easy. This is exactly what I was hoping for though. Like the little half bucks, like I said on the Tucker video, the bucking level that our horses do are not, I hate your guts and want to kill you kind of bucks. They are fat horse, very domesticated, calm, lazy horse bucks. Really more of an expression of, I really don't like to work and I'm young enough and have enough energy to tell you about it in the form of a buck. It's quite lazy. It's usually just a one-legger. Normally it's not a repetitive amount of bucks in like tight succession that you'd see for a horse to try to get you off their back. So anytime I'm working these horses, and I know I'm posting these publicly, I don't want anybody that's rode Peanut before or that might ride Peanut in the future to go, oh my goodness, he bucks, I don't want to ride him. That's not exactly true. Because he did for me, but I am actually pushing his buttons on purpose so I can kind of rip that Band-Aid off and kind of get to the real issue of what's happening with Peanut. And that's just part of the horse gig. That's part of the horse drama, you might call it. We try to stay away from drama, but such as it is, we take what we're given. Easy. And Peanut's pretty lazy. Most of his motivations are very because he's lazy. See, locked up right there. Showing his true colors. Trying to canter is what we were trying to do. Woo. And I think he's making a liar out of me, and I'm gonna have to go get my spurs. And he thinks that we're done because we're tying him up at the wall here. The joke's gonna be on him. Okay, slight pause as I put my spurs on. And then the camera can try to find me again. It lost me. Well, I don't know about any of you watching this video, but in northern Michigan, we are so ready for this cold weather to go away. Again, today, it was like 20-some degrees this morning, with, of course, a bunch of wind. So I'm definitely ready for it. Any of you who might be riding in an outdoor arena or a non-heated arena are probably like, what's this guy whining about? He's got a heated riding space. Well, I still have to go outdoors and do horse chores, you know. All right. Spurs attached. Spurs definitely have a high probability of him bucking more. But again, I'm ready for it. I'm totally ready for this guy, and I want him to become a good horse, and sometimes you got to go through these learning curves. Okay, we're mounted back up. Let me go find the camera because it lost me. There we are. Let's see if it catches me. There we go. Okay, so here's what's going on is in a specific location on this arena, which is toward the back end here, when I'm trying to canter him toward the camera, that's when he starts locking up, and he already threw one little half, like I said, fat horse, lazy horse buck. Not to kill me or hurt me, but just to say, I don't like this. So I have attached my spurs, which I do not want to use, but I will if I have to. Okay, we're trotting. It's the easy part. He likes to go faster away from the camera for sure. Oh, it sounds like it's raining outside. That's special. As I went by a tin door. Special for me since I'm not out in it. Okay, here we go. We're going to try it out. That's a good boy. Get a few canter steps in, burn some energy. Keep it up, bud. Keep it up. It's like he's a new horse with spurs on. Hup, hup. Oh, slow down. There he goes. If I'm out of frame, I'll come find you. Easy. Good boy. A couple times he tried stopping there. Wasn't sure what he was going to do. Just so you know the process, if for whatever reason he decided to turn his bucking because of lazy into bucking because of anger, I would do nose to knee. So you pick one rein up and you pull that nose all the way around to your knee like this. Okay? And you want his nose to kind of come to your knee. And then you're going to drive him forward with go cues, and you're going to have to kick a lot because it's basically really hard for a horse to buck if they have to walk forward in a turn. And so that's what you would do, and you would keep hammering that horse until he was walking or trotting, whatever. Just some kind of forward movement while turning is going to be really difficult for that horse to buck. That's kind of the standard protocol. That's worked really well for me when I've been on horses that were bucking for more nefarious reasons than just I'm lazy and don't like working. So the other thing I'm hoping to accomplish here, well, I am accomplishing it, is I need to get Peanut to a point where it's past his normal. You know, it's almost like working out where you have to keep stretching if you just plateau. And so Peanut's normal activity he does in this arena is beginner riders, kind of going around in a circle, practicing some reverses. And so I got to get him kind of like outside of that bubble and press him for more than that before I can start kind of uncovering the real issues that Peanut might have. Because if it's in his comfort zone, then he's a much better horse than when I ask him for something out of his comfort zone. But you have to understand that me practicing outside of his comfort zone is really going to refine him into the things that he's comfortable with. It's going to make him much better at those things. I'm just zigzagging back and forth again. He's wanting to trot. So we're going to do some trot circles again. Gonna reverse that up, go the other direction. Go the other direction. Woo. Good boy. And he took a half step back and I forgot about it, so he reminded me. Good boy. We don't want to sit for too long because horse's heart rate is up. He's already warmed up, so we don't want to start coming down off of that and get into the cool down yet because I'm not done yet. We're close. Like I explained in the Tucker video from yesterday, you want to end on a good note. End on something successful so that there's a good taste in this horse's mouth about being ridden. And if you, again, make a mistake and you're struggling or you can't get your horse to understand something, then just go back to the last thing that your horse was good at and practice a few times there, have some success, give that horse some praise and some pep for it, and then call it a wrap. And then you got tomorrow. You got to have patience and just take these things one day at a time. All right, I just experimented and tried some cinch area pressure, and he felt like boogieing down on that because that was some pressure, all right. He's really fighting this rein. So we'll set a static point. Okay, we're going to rotate the other way. Again, I'm kind of using this rein as a bump point, a static point where if he bends and gives at his shoulder neck area, then the pressure won't be there. If he wants to resist it, then I'm not pulling on it. He's just resisting against a static point that I've already preset. And again, he's steering a little bit better on his right side than his left side. Whoa. Back. I'm trying to start light pressure, pull harder if I need to. You have the control of your muscles, so you don't have to just pull as hard as you can when you're doing right, left, stopping. You want to try to ease into those things and pay attention to what the horse is giving you. Only use as much pressure as you actually need. Your horse will appreciate that and notice. That's how you stay connected and get connected with your horse. Start light and work your way up. And that takes practice because you have to pay attention to what your horse gives you. You have to be able to notice when your horse responds in small ways. I don't want anyone to be afraid to pull. You can pull as hard as you need to. You just can't get there fast. Think of your arms and your pressure point. When you apply pressure to a horse, it's kind of like a gas pedal in a car. You don't just get in and floor it. And, it depends on what you need. So you just have to keep that in mind. Connected to that horse's mouth. You want to be easy does it. You want your horse, all of us do anyway, that are horse people. We want that horse to be soft and enjoyable to ride and not a struggle and not wrestling it. Obviously first for safety, and then after that for enjoyment. You don't want to have to wrestle this horse. You want him to be submitted to his cues and commands. And he's gotten way softer already just in this little time I've spent with him. I'm barely pulling on the reins now. Doing this cone pattern here. We're gonna practice a stop here in just a second. Whoa. Barely any rain pressure. We're gonna back up. Good boy. He's breathing pretty hard. You probably can't tell from the video, but this sand is it's pretty deep in here. I mean, think of like the exertion it takes you to walk on a beach for a long time period, or even like beach sand. I mean, it's not beach sand, but it's deep. You know, it's 6-7 inches deep. So in some ways, I kind of appreciate that because the horse has to exert more energy to do. So it's more of a workout for the horse. It's actually not a good benefit when you have to scoop the arena though, because you know, you gotta walk through all that deep sand. The cart gets that cart right there gets really heavy. So pros and cons. All right, I'm gonna move into the cool down area. I'm pretty satisfied with where we're at with Peanut today. He did make me get my spurs on, the dirty little bugger, but that's okay. Because as I said in my Tucker video, obviously I can't arm new riders with spurs, so I'm gonna have to, you know, keep working with Peanut. Just because you start a horse on spurs doesn't mean they have to stay with spurs. You can get them to soften up. So, and it's not very often I'm gonna have a new rider be cantering, almost never. We always ride to the level of the least experience. So if I've got 10 riders in this ring and 9 of them can canter, but 1 of them can't, that poses an interesting challenge for me. Fortunately, our arena is big enough where I can have a dedicated spot for that one to experience a little cantering and the rest can stay walking. So we work it out. He's still huffing pretty good. Whoa. Back it up, buddy. Took a little more pressure than a few stops ago. Good boy. All right, we're gonna walk over to our lead line and call that a day for him. I don't know if you can hear him breathing. Still breathing pretty hard. All right, that's a wrap for today's video. If you if you stumbled upon this channel by accident, I encourage you to check out our website, whrm.org. We're also on Facebook, and stay tuned for more videos. I'm hoping to post some more videos with some horse action going on. God bless. Have a great day.